Hi, this is Matt from Fairway Mortgage. This video is about cash to close, or otherwise total out-of-pocket cost. Some people confuse down payment with cash to close. So I'm going to cover that. I'm also going to cover down payment assistance. The components of cash to close, or how much you need total out-of-pocket, are down payment, prepaids, and closing costs. It's a combination of all those determine how much you need out-of-pocket. This money can be paid in multiple ways. It can be from your own funds, checking account, savings account, 401k are examples. It can be gifted. Um, it can be gifted from your family. It can be gifted from an employer using certain programs, or it can be from down payment assistance programs such as CHAFA and Metro DPA. So if you see the previous videos I've given on down payment is the biggest factor of cash close. Different programs have different requirements. Go to the down payment video if you want more understanding on that. Then prepaids. Prepaids and escrow we're putting into one topic. So when you buy a house, there's an escrow account that's established. And the escrow account pays property tax and homeowner's insurance. So part of your monthly mortgage payment, if you're not putting 20% down, is going to be escrow. Homeowners, so in this example, let's say you are closing on a house on March 25th. That is your closing date. You found a house sometime in February. The closing date is scheduled for the 25th. When closing date happens, you prepay homeowners insurance for 1 year plus 2 months. You also prepay mortgage interest. So if you're closing on the 25th, here's another important point. You skip one payment. So if you close on the 25th, you're skipping the payment in April. Your first payment is made on May 1st. You have to prepay the interest in between your closing date and the first month. That is prepaid mortgage insurance. When you make your first payment, you pay principal forward and interest in arrears. So that's why you're only prepaying this amount for this, in this case, 6 days, because on the May payment, you're paying the interest in arrears, which means you're paying between April and May, and you're paying principal forward. Second payment, same thing, you're paying interest in arrears, principal forward. Another part of prepaids is property tax. You have to pay property tax in advance. Part of the reason to explain these 2-month periods is you're not making a payment until May. Another part of prepaids or escrow is homeowners insurance fees. Depends on what the property, if the property has an HOA, that's homeowners insurance, homeowners association. It depends if there is a homeowners association, and it depends on the fees of that specific homeowners association for what those are. Okay, then closing costs. So the title company has closing cost fees. The lender has closing cost fees. Appraisal is what, when somebody goes to determine how much the house is worth. That's an appraisal. And recording fees. These are all part of closing costs. Okay, so if I go back to this, that went over down payment, prepaids, and closing cost. So now to touch on down payment assistance. There are multiple programs available. I'll briefly cover a couple of them. So if you're in the Denver area, Metro DPA is one option. CHAFA is another option. El Paso Turnkey is available in El Paso County. So down payment assistance comes in different forms. In the case of Metro DPA, it's forgivable. That means they're giving you a certain amount, and over a period of time, it's forgiven. So in the case of Metro DPA, over 36 months, after 36 months, you keep all the money they give you. You don't make any payments on before that, but if you were to sell the house before 36 months, you got to pay it back. CHAFA, which is the most popular program in Colorado, offers down payment assistance in two forms. One is called a silent second. That means that is a second mortgage that has zero interest. You don't make any payments on, but if you were to sell the house, you have to pay it back. So it allows you to buy with less out-of-pocket costs. Because if we go back to our requirements for cash to close, we're covering the down payment. They also offer a grant. On FHA only, they offer a grant of 3%. The silent second is 4% of the loan amount. And again, going back to Metro DPA, they offer different amounts of down payment assistance. There is a trade-off in any of these programs between how much you're getting free and what the rate is on the program. And that's important to consider. El Paso Turnkey is partially forgivable. It's only available in Colorado Springs or El Paso County, and after 5 years, you keep half the money they give you. The down payment assistance amount, again, Metro DPA is between 0 and 6%, depending on the time. Sometimes they don't have some of it available. For example, you used to be able to get 6%. Now that's not available anymore. It comes back occasionally. CHAFA, again, the silent second's 4% of the loan amount. The grant is 3%. Well, why wouldn't everybody just take the grant if they keep it? It's because the rate is higher and it's not as much. El Paso Turnkey's 4 to 5% of the loan amount. And these are where you can get them. You can get Metro DPA pretty much. They're adding parts to it all the time, but if you're within 45 miles of Denver, generally you can use it. CHAFA is the entire state. Again, the El Paso Turnkey is only available in El Paso County. Another key thing people do not consider, when you use down payment assistance, there is an origination fee. And most lenders charge 1% of the loan amount to use any of these programs. So even though they're giving you money to help, you have to consider they're charging you a 1% fee to do it. There are also income limits for each of these programs. Currently, as of March 2022, the FHA income limit for Metro DPA is $150,000. The conventional limit's $83,000. They also have a program for up to $150,000 for conventional, but the rates are higher. CHAFA, same thing. There's an FHA limit, $130,000. Conventional is $83,000. And also El Paso Turnkey, $120,000 and $65,000, because El Paso County has their income averages are lower. So that's kind of an overview of down payment assistance and also covering cash to close. So again, if you were to, so let's say you're taking CHAFA and you take the 4% amount, and if we went back up to down payment, FHA only requires 3.5% down. So there is some money left over to pay prepaids and closing costs, but that doesn't mean you don't need any money out of pocket. There is still out-of-pocket costs. If you want a specific breakdown of what this means for you, what these program options mean for you, call or schedule a Zoom call. There's too much to go over. There's too many variables to say to give blanket answers on, well, how much is it for me? We need a lot more information, which we're happy to give you. Just doing it one-on-one is much easier.